Before I begin, this video is about the comic, not the show. I will be discussing and showcasing events from the comic up to and including chapter 108. If you are a show-only watcher or are reading the comic but haven't gotten that far, spoilers are ahead. Alright, now that only comic readers are left, or people who don't give a damn, let's continue. My problems with Angstrom Levy are about his redemption. After the Invincible War, he's indentured to the Technicians and he doesn't really show up for a while, but eventually he is released from their servitude, and the first thing he does is return to Mark's dimension, only to find out that Invincible is dead. And after Invincible's supposed death, he chills out for a while, living peacefully with his drones in a suburban neighborhood, until he discovers that Invincible ain't actually dead. Afterwards, he immediately goes back into revenge mode, attacking Eve at the house and sending Invincible to the desolate dimension he sent all the other Invincibles. And this is where my problems lie. Well, not with this, but with what happens after. Eve hits Angstrom with the Talk No Jutsu of Doom, and it works, causing Angstrom to forgive Invincible and even return Mohawk Mark back to his home dimension, before being kidnapped, tortured, and killed by a robot. Here's the problem. Eve convincing Angstrom to stop his crusade against Invincible is completely unearned and kinda dumb. For a little extra context, after sending Invincible to the barren wasteland dimension, he and Eve talk a little. Angstrom talks about how he knows about Eve's pregnancy, and that she can't use her powers because of the baby, because this event has happened in another multiverse, under different circumstances. Eve tries to explain that Angstrom is way out of line, to which he just tells her to shut the hell up. Then she tells him about Rex and how he died during the Invincible War, but she didn't crash out like Angstrom and hunt him through the multiverse, she just moved on with her life. And this revelation is so powerful, Angstrom immediately yields and brings both Marks back through the portal. This comes out of nowhere. Literally 5 minutes ago, he was looking like this, terrorizing a pregnant woman. Now all of a sudden he's saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, I was way off the mark, lost the plot on this one." Side note, but I believe the intent of the comic was actually that Angstrom understands his memories couldn't be trusted, and that he's been just wasting his genius on a crusade that wasn't worth fighting for. But that still doesn't work, because there should be no reason for him to come to that conclusion with zero additional context other than, "Oh, I was told the same thing twice." Thought I'd throw that in here. And the thing is, I don't think giving Angstrom Levy a redeeming moment is a bad idea. He was shown to be pretty confused way back in Season 2 about, what he remembers from all the other multiverses compared to what he's being told to by Debbie.
Your family's legacy is blood.
No, not me. I raised the boy who defied his father and saved this planet. From what you say, these worlds are extremely different. I know the son I raised, and he is no killer.
You sure about that?
You make it sound like this is the one world where Mark is good, and you're the one who's bad.
What?
Oh, that's why you're so angry.
A few moments later.
You don't know anything!
And I think if we brought a scene like that back, it would make this whole out-of-nowhere change of heart a lot better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt a rewrite of his redemption to explore how I think it could have been better. We'll keep everything the same up until he comes to Mark's dimension and sees Invincible dead on the news. Instead of just skipping to him finding out that Mark is alive, I like to explore Angstrom a bit more while Mark is still presumed dead. Now, there is only like a chapter and a half before Angstrom and the world find out Invincible is actually not dead, but I don't even think we need that much time. Just a small scene showing a deeper look into his character, a glimpse into an inner conflict that we didn't get to see in the comic. When he finds out about his death, he's happy, sure. His arch-rival is dead, and his mission for revenge is finally complete, but it's not all great. Now that he's no longer blinded by rage, he can take some time to reflect and look inward, ask himself, was it all worth it? In his mind, Invincible was evil. He had to be stopped, but in his quest to do so, He caused so much damage and killed so many people, and at the end of it all, he didn't even get the satisfaction of killing him himself. Then, when he discovers that Invincible is still alive, the lust for revenge can still come back. He could even blame Invincible for all the deaths dinosaurs caused, proof that he was right all along. But now some internal conflict has been showcased to the audience. So when he attacks Eve and sends Mark to the other dimension, it's far more convincing that someone would be able to change his mind. I also believe that Eve's argument about Rex is really weak. I think having Eve call him out on his hypocrisy is a far more powerful argument. Maybe her bringing up Rex's death was supposed to remind Angstrom of the Invincible War directly, but it's not even the main thing in her argument, so I'd have exactly that be the main thing in her argument. Instead of shifting to the whole, "Oh, I moved on, why can't you" argument, bring up that Angstrom literally teamed up with 16, 18 in the show, of the most evil Invincibles to destroy and kill as much as they could, all in the name of stopping the main timeline mark. He killed thousands, probably millions actually, and he claims that Invincible is the villain. Not only is this a stronger argument, but combined with the earlier reflection Angstrom had, it is a far more believable scenario than what we got in the comic. Angstrom believes that the one thing stopping him from creating a perfect utopia is Invincible. So Eve just saying, "You know you could still do that, right?" should not be enough to convince him. I hope the show does something along these lines, and I honestly think they will, because one of the best attributes of the show is they've been expanding upon stuff from the comics. They even gave Conquest a lot of great characterization in the season 3 finale, and he's gonna die midway through next season. So, a major reoccurring villain like Angstrom? I think they have to. Well, that's my rewrite. Let me know what you think. Am I right? I mean, I know I'm right, but maybe you think I'm way off, but let me know.